What's up, y'all? Hey, I think we see the no, and we say it's not enough. Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. Couch Rider.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. You should Couch Rider Raven still fixing things behind the scenes here because y'all seeing pieces in the parts of the light. But please, if this is your first time here, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. Let's see who made it to the room. You know, I didn't put out any type of media beforehand. Lisa is here. Hey, Jermaine, winning 5 in a row is really sweet. Let me make it 6. Or let's make it 6 on Thanksgiving, on TG, on that opportunity to show Joe Burrow what's really happening. Welcoming him back to the scene properly. Hopefully, we can shut Jamar Chase down. Y'all know he likes to have a day. He likes to have a day. All right, so I think we've had a moment of controversy before, similar like this, but I gotta know. I gotta know. I think we talked about this many times. Is turkey your main dish at Thanksgiving? Is that what you prefer to serve? Is that the best dish? We'll say, is turkey the best dish? That is our moment of controversy topic today. Is turkey the dish? Is turkey your dish? Because I know back in Louisiana, there's a beautiful turkey, but it's not the main dish. Usually that turkey don't even get touched because the ribs are where it's at. The ribs, usually people stay up all night smoking the ribs and they sleep during the day, but everybody's then lined up for those ribs. Think on that for just a second while I step away, handle some admin just. All right, we back, y'all. Let's see who's in the room. Thanks for coming. So Lisa is here. Lizette Rizino, what's happening? Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack the bell. Brooke is here. On deck with a different name. QT on deck 08. Okay. And he says, mac and cheese is your dish. Okay, cool. What you got? All right, Lisa, what's up? He said, I'd rather have turkey on Thanksgiving, not chicken for me. So, like I said, for me, it's ribs. Hey, close that door. Close it all the way. Okay. So, sorry, Lockett household is a little bit crazy tonight, But yes, ribs is our dish usually because the turkey, while it looks beautiful, ribs smoked all night on the grill, while the cousins and the brothers are talking trash usually to each other, probably on some wonderful hot some we'll say devil's milk while they on that devil's milk all night is usually the best time for me and the family. I am going to have the pleasure of having the family up here this time. So looking forward to Thanksgiving. It's going to be great. Oh, yes. Lex Health. Z. We're just going to say Lex Health. Lex He, excuse me. Hey, man, welcome. Welcome to the show. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack the bell. What we are discussing is the moment of controversy right now as far as what is your dish? Whether it is Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little rattled here because I got crazy kids up and about. Brooke says, "You're using, or am I using a streaming source?" Yeah, I'm still using StreamYard. Says, "How does it look different? Is there something going on different with this? Let me know." All right. So we've talked about our moment of controversy here, and I know it's not as crazy as is a hot dog or sandwich or anything, or like what is it, pineapple on a pizza, but we still having fun over here. We still having a good time, still messing with a couple of things here. All right. So now that we got that out the way, let's talk it up. Let's talk about this game, y'all. Like, how did you feel about the game? Okay. How did you feel about this past game? Like at halftime, I imagine the flock was about to burn down. Like they was about to toss all the crabs back up into the harbor. People was mad. Old Bay seasoning was nowhere to be found. There was no celebration whatsoever because we were down 7-3 at the half. And it's because we just couldn't get it rolling on the offense. But you can definitely say we need to be grateful. We need to be grateful for having a defense that held it down for us and allowed us to be able to come back into this game and win it by a significant amount, by 13 points. But it's just kind of frustrating when you look at the Baltimore Ravens while we are on a 5-game win streak. This is starting to remind me of the Joe Flacco era when the defense was looking significant and we were winning games barely, and we weren't having the prime time showdown type highlight reels that we wanted to see. We were more of a boring team that got it done on defense, got the W, but it was nothing pretty. We wanted something spectacular. We wanted to be that Sunday night football type of team. And here we are again. We got a quarterback who hadn't scored a passing touchdown in 2 weeks. That's bad. That's a bad thing. Yeah, Brooks says, yeah, you missed half of it. So I think I missed half as well. I think I was happy to be in church for that. I'm just kind of like sitting in the longest meeting ever. And then finally got out of it and looked at the score and was like, this is madness. Brooks says, Lamar is definitely dealing with injury. Yeah, because between head, shoulder, pneumatosis, whatever the heck he's got going on, 1 second is hamstring, next second is knee, next second is ankle, now it's a toe. Hopefully it just flushes completely out of the system since it kept rolling southward, pause, on this guy. We want him healthy. We want him to be ready to rock, but we need other people to show up. And speaking of show up, we got to get props where props is due. When we get pissed off about the defense, we come for Zach Orthrup. We come for Awuzie. We come for Humphrey and tell them to stay off the podcast. And we come after everybody. We cape for pain for these individuals. But when they win, when they do their job, do we get props? Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we need to give props. We got to give props to Zach Orr for this defense that hasn't allowed over 21 points since we started winning. It's been magnificent, actually, but even before that. Since the Rams game, we really hadn't allowed over 21 points for an opponent. And we got to give props to a guy that I never thought I'd be giving props to. It's a little crazy, right? Daniel Faalele, the guy who is on the hate continuum week by week. Every single week, there's somebody roasting this guy on Twitter, roasting this guy on X, roasting this guy on Facebook, saying that he can't get it together. We saw some primetime blocks. We saw some decent protection from him. We saw Lamar getting the time that he needed. It's just the offense wasn't clicking. They were not clicking. So, with that said, I'm going to say Daniel Faalele, I ain't saying you can stay. I'm still saying, you know what, this is probably just a one-type deal. But we did see you lay some punishing blocks. You didn't just sit out there looking for work with a sign or something. You went out and you saw like, okay, well, nobody's in front of me. I'm going to go knock somebody out. We saw the punishing blocks. This is kind of what we need to see on a every week basis. And I think it was because you felt a couple of guys on your heels. Emory Jones is back. And Ben Cleveland might make his way out the basement. He finally found the key to the door. He's working on it. But we definitely want to see more of that Daniel Faalele, or as they say on X and Twitter, Falala. Brooke says she is somewhat irritated. Hold on, let's see. All right, she says, that's what I'm hoping. Just move down and out. Yes, the injury. I saw people bashing Orr when I hopped on to watch the game. I was confused and thought the defense did good. Okay. And it says, I love Marlo. You know, I'm excited. Yes. Well, Marlo, you know, when he's back to causing fumbles, even though he's only got, maybe 7 fingers to work with, I think that's very impressive. And it was kind of weird because in the post-game interview, you see him with his hands on his face, kind of like this, with full flexibility on both of the fingers that run down here that was wrapped up. So this was the hand that was wrapped up. This is my left. See the Mary ring. For those of y'all. So he had this, it was unwrapped, and it looked like he had full flex because he had kept putting his hands on his face and moving his fingers all around. So I don't know what's going on with that. We don't know if he had surgery or if he didn't have the surgery or what, but we're just excited to have him still there. We still need all of those corners healthy, ready to rock. Speaking of corners, shout out to TJ Tampa for getting that first pick. Yes, it was in garbage time. Yes, it was a deep shot, but he got it. Pick's a pick on the stat sheet 6 years from now when he's probably making a grip of money somewhere else because, you know, Eric DeCosta is going to send him away for picks. It's going to look on the stat sheet as that is an interception. No matter how he got it, it's one of the picks that got him paid. All right, Lisa says, I'm irritated about Pat Ricard not getting the football. I don't get why you're irritated. Pat is there to lay the wood. He is there to cause holes. I know I'm doing a lot of pause right now. He is there to make the hole that Derrick Henry runs through. He sits there, opens the door so that Derrick Henry can get home. There's a ton of pause going on. Anyway, but he's not there to hold the football. I'm sorry. When Pancake Pat lays somebody out, that brings me a special piece of joy in my heart right there. When he's catching the ball, I'm like, look, that ain't the guy. We got too many pass catches. We got Nuke. We got Tez Walker. We got all of these different guys who know how to catch the rock, who know how to make a play. If we throwing it to Pat, that's a problem. We don't need to throw it to Pat. We got too many pass catchers. All right. Brooke says, yeah, if ALA didn't do half bad, I'm proud of him. Wilbur says, go Sanders. Apparently he's got his QB of the future now. Are you letting go of Baker, or are you actually going to stick with Baker and just side root for Sanders? Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I know this is not the show to talk about Mr. Sanders on here, but this was a meh performance for me. And the coaches and half the internet right now are or the internet is going a little crazy. YouTube, all these cats, y'all are caping for Sanders right now because the coach did not give a game ball to him. That offense was meh. He threw a nice deep shot that probably should have been a touchdown. I give him props on that. But the other one was basically should have been a screen pass that actually went for a score. Sanders had an okay day. He had an interception. I'm not going to say it was a magnificent day. Just like I told the Cowboys when they beat them, it's the Raiders. It's the Raiders. I'm not excited about a win over the Raiders. Neither should we be if we actually get a win over the Raiders. So as long as Uncle Rico isn't playing for the Raiders, then we get W's. But it is the Raiders that we're talking about. This is a team that had one of the worst defenses in football. Of course, Sanders needed to come out there and have a day, or he was going to be back on the bench immediately. He didn't have a day. He had an okay outing with a phenomenal defense that put up 10 sacks in one game. And we knew Geno was going to lay down. He had his pillow next to him as he got into the huddle. He called it. He called the daggone play. He was right. Right, left, right, 44 flex, on 3, on me, go to sleep. That was the play. And what did he do? He went to sleep. You want to see effort? I'm with you. You still woofing about Shedeur? He did well. Happy for him. I mean, he did okay. He came out and he scored more touchdowns than Lamar did this week. Let's just put that out there. But when it comes down to it, this wasn't a magnificent performance, but it looks like it was enough to get him the next start for the next week. So he's going to have to earn that coach's respect because that coach believes that he is not the guy. And rightfully so. I mean, if that's not your guy, that's not who you're riding with. Y'all remember back in the day when John Harbaugh didn't want to roll with Joe Flacco? He wanted Troy Smith. He would have preferred Kyle Bola over Joe. And what happened? They won a championship together. And then he refused to give him up for Lamar until things went really south. And then injuries happened. And then Lamar took over. Coaches be stubborn. The second coming of Baker. Are you serious? I'm sorry, bro. Look, there have been things that I have noticed when it came to Shedeur. He holds the ball too long. He is not the second coming of Baker. Baker's special. I knew that from draft day that Baker was special. He just went to the wrong team. I'm just saying. Because he's with the right team right now, and you see some great things happen. It's pretty sweet. All right. Burke says they weren't winning G with Dylan. They weren't winning with see, your typing is a little tough right now. Shedeur deserves credit. Stefanski is a hater. He is a hater, but he's got to be convinced. He's a head coach. He's got a job to do. He's got to be skeptical initially because he's riding for his guy. He thought Dylan was his guy. He still thinks Dylan is his guy, but right now his arm is being wrenched by management, saying, hey, get in there and go get it done. Anyway, we're back on the Ravens, folks. We're back on the Ravens. When it comes to the injury bug, we were talking about Lamar. Comes to the injury bug with Lamar, we're hoping this toe thing is probably the last of the many injuries he's had. However, it is that time of year when Lamar's diet gets a little out of hand, and he usually misses a Thursday because of whatever food he ate that gave him some type of stomach flu or stomach virus or whatever. Because, the boy just going to be eating on soul food. It apparently messes his stomach up, and he usually misses a Thursday, but he cannot miss this Thursday night. So somebody please get the soul food away from Lamar. Do not let him go to his own restaurant that he owns. We cannot have that type of problem before the game. All right. So when it comes to Kyle Hamilton, the injury, we are hoping that this ankle that he had an issue with is just a small problem because we need him we see how special he is. We see him zooming all over the field. We see the tackles. We see the sacks. We see the terror that he brings to the field there. It was a very special thing to see him go to work and Draymond Jones go to work. The pressure that is applied, and I know I got to give Green his as well because he had about 3 different plays where he won against that daggone offensive lineman. And he won his matchup, and the pressure was there. Tyrod was under duress. He seemed like he was cool, calm, collected, but Tyrod was under duress and having to run. And what, of course, Tyrod does Tyrod-type things when it comes to that Stephon and getting those first downs. He had a couple nice first downs. But ultimately, the amount of pressure applied caused that offense to turn the ball over. Or turn the ball over, or turn over on downs, punting, you name it. The defense was there. Kudos to Zach Orr. Are y'all still on this? Wonder if Deion went to his son's first game as pro. Yeah, he saw it, like that first deep shot. Yeah, Deion was there. He was definitely there. So he should have set it out yesterday, but he can't sit out Thursday. Yeah, we definitely need him. Anyway, what's what we say? It says, to be honest, if you are worried about Lamar and injuries, you probably shouldn't play him on a short week. The Steelers aren't winning the North of Rudolph. Let Lamar rest. Problem is we lose the daggone Steelers backups all the time. We've lost to Rudolph before. We've lost to Pickett before. When it comes to the starters, we beat starters. But if it's a backup, we're going to lose to that daggone backup. We lose to garbage quarterbacks for some reason. It's just, say, a thing of nature. Except for this year. We are beating bad teams. And what I mean by that, y'all saw it. Who did we beat? And who did we lose to? So we lost to the Lions, we lost to the Chiefs, we lost to the Texans, we lost to the Bills, we lost to the Rams. All these guys are playoff contenders. We beat the Dolphins. We beat the Browns. We beat the Browns again. We beat the Jets. We beat the Bears. I don't care what that record is for the Bears. That quarterback ain't good. He's not good. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. Nope. I don't believe it. They did us a favor. We appreciate it. That quarterback ain't he ain't no good. He ain't no good, y'all. So we've been playing down to these bad teams. We need a decisive victory. We need to come out there and show the Bengals what's up. We should have came out there and showed the Jets what was up. They had a full fire sale of their team. Their top corner was our most trash corner from last year. We should have came out there and we should have had an air assault on these guys. And a full-on air assault. Zay should have went off for more than almost 60 yards. And he should have had a field day with this secondary. There shouldn't have been as much pressure up front on Lamar. We got too many weapons to have a mediocre 23-point performance that resulted from having a great punter and having a great defense. Yeah, I agree. We should have won that Bills game. We played really good. That offense was spectacular. Week 1. Monken needs to go back and look at these plays that he dialed up against the Bills. And like I said, I do feel like some of these plays are being pocketed until the postseason. They came out week 1 and people are, I think he's trying to pocket those and push them far away, keep them until we get to the postseason and then break out this daggone vault. And I know I don't want to talk about the vault because we talked about Greg Roman in the past, how he was going to break out the vault. I am hoping that there is a vault and that somebody did not forget the security code to the vault this time and that we come out rolling come postseason, y'all. Lisa says, so what's wrong with Caleb Williams? Have you seen this game? He's not the most accurate. I'm just kind of like it is. I'm not a fan. I think the Bears have a fantastic defense. I think they had the number 2 rushing attack in the league going into Sunday. And so you got the number 2 rushing attack in the league and a solid defense. That's going to rack up some wins if your quarterback plays halfway decent. He is Caleb halfway decent? He racked up 285 yards passing on us. I don't even know how that happened, but we got the W. We got the W. Brooks says it never fails. The offense plays good, the defense plays bad, and vice versa. Yes, we need a game where we have all three phases of the ball go well. Whoever says if Lamar goes down, your season is over, he should rest. You all need to score a lot quickly so the running game can take over and keep Lamar safe. I agree that Lamar should rest, but I don't think it's against the Bengals. When we look at the schedule, now we'll pull that up here. I believe the Steelers are just around the corner. So I don't know if that's a rest game or not. We got the Bengals twice, and then the Patriots, and then the Packers, and then the Steelers again. There's no rest. There's not it, because right now we need to be able to compete with the firepower of the Bengals, just in case our defense decides to stay in the parking lot that day. We need to be able to beat the Steelers down to let them know who owns the North. Even though their quarterback, whether it be Rodgers or Rudolph, it's not good news. It's not good news. And I'm saying that because Rodgers old. Rodgers is not the same guy he used to be. And because their defense is, it has its time. Sometimes they look sus, and then sometimes they actually show up, like against the Colts, which I don't get. Like the Colts lost to the Chiefs, and they lost to the Steelers. Are the Colts legit? Are the Colts just beating them on bad teams and barely losing to good teams? So they are somewhat legit. They're just not all the way there. People can say the same thing about us. Okay. Brooks says, I think Huntley could have beat the Jets. I don't think he can beat Cincy. I'd rather have an injured Lamar. As long as his mobility is halfway decent, as long as he can still put that threat out there to where it creates the spy, then we're good. And so as long as our defense shows up, because I think we can apply the pressure up front. The question is are we going to have those wide receivers and tight ends crossing Roquan's face without help? Now I think he does have some help, and I think that kind of shields a little bit or hides a little bit of his inability to cover, because Buchanan is out there on that field helping him a lot, and I see Simpson there as well, but he's more of a pass rushing aspect. So I think Roquan has the help he needs to shield a couple things and keep a couple things covered down low. But we'll see. Brooks says, shouldn't Aaron think about retiring? Oh, he should. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to actually do it. He's a stubborn guy. He's probably going to spend some time in darkness thinking about it again next year, and you're going to see him play for the Cardinals. I said it. Yes, Kyle is the next factor for this team. I know they picked up a different guy today as a temporary solution to get some of those reps, but you don't know. We just don't know. But we do need to think about this. Darius Washington, where is he at in his practice window? Because if he's ready, then we can afford to have Kyle kind of take a rest. Now, if he needs rest, that's an important factor right there. Whoever says y'all need Jacoby Brissett as a backup so you can have a legitimate quarterback who can give Lamar rest and you can still get wins. I want Tyrod Taylor as a backup. You saw the electric that he still brings to the game when he's able to. The thing is, the Jets didn't have slot for wide receivers either. Mechie was kind of doing this up. He was license. So that's just something you need to think about for the future. Like next year, if Tyrod Taylor is available, they need to go ahead and bring him back home. Bring him back home. We can't win without Lamar. We did win without Lamar already. Won a game, Tyler won against the Bears. We can do it. But the defense has to be on point. Special teams got to do their thing. And Dan Falala, you gotta ball. You got to ball. You got to protect that guy. Because Tyler, he got some speed. He can still run. He can get those luxury yards for us. Get us in field goal range, kick about 6 field goal games, 6 field goals, we can get them out of there. We good. Tell him, Lisa. Tell him. Hey, so here we are. We're sitting at 30 minutes, 50 seconds. I feel like some of y'all want to go back and watch Monday Night Football, and I think that is a good thing. Let's make that happen for y'all. I want to say appreciate y'all coming through. Know that when it comes to the Bengals, we have to do a couple of things. We got to get pressure on Joe. We need to double Jamar. We don't need to forget about Josephus. He is still there. Josephus, I think is number 81. He is a dog. I know he is third string, but he is a dog and one that needs to be worried about. They don't have Higgins for the game. But this defense of the Bengals is absolutely terrible. And if Baltimore doesn't take care of that defense, so they need to get pressure on Joe. Double Chase. And take care of business on offense. And we can come home with this W and worry about the daggone Steelers in their next game. And hopefully they lose. Okay? Because we need secure position of this AFC North. You know what I'm talking about? Whoever wants us to trade Flowers for Judy, I don't think that's going to happen. That's like bringing no. This is the first wide receiver that we drafted that has been electric for us. I'm not saying anything against Bateman. I'm just saying that this is a wide receiver who really is an X factor for us. He's not the X receiver, but he is an X factor for us. He makes a significant difference, as you saw last year in the playoffs. Without Zay, that game, if with Zay, it would have been different. It would have been completely different. So no, we're not giving that up. Lisa says, remember Tyrod Taylor is 30. I don't care. Didn't we have Josh Johnson up here? Dude was old as all get out. Played for like 18 different teams. He said, no way, Wilbur. That's not helping. Jerry Judy might be betting because, who does this little hop jump step when you got a straight lane ahead of you and you can get out of bounds? Quit trying to make things happen. Just sit there and take your yards and get the W. It was a 3-on-1 situation, and he didn't even know it. He only saw 2-on-1. Get out of bounds. You ain't got to do no hoppy to hop. And it makes sense. That did not make sense. I think that actually was what made Shadur look a little bad because they turned that ball over. And I know that's not on Shadur, but that's on that Browns offense as a whole. So it's like, okay, this isn't a magnificent win, but Shadur had an okay day. I give him that, but he still ain't getting no game ball because Stefanski didn't want to give it to him. All right. So like I said, I want y'all to be able to go back and enjoy your evening and enjoy football. We only got a couple more games left before the playoffs, and you need to enjoy every bit of it because that off season where I had to go back to be a decent church member and all that good father stuff, whatever, it's coming. It's coming. I'm kidding. I look forward to it. I look forward to being able to spend time with the family during the off season and all that good stuff. But just know that the end of football is coming here, so get all the football you can get in. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. And y'all, Cameroon, I gave him short notice on the show tonight, so y'all give him grace because it was on me. I was out watching a movie tonight. Now you can't, or Now You See Me, Now You Can't, Part 3, which is great. Go watch it. But just know that I was thinking about y'all. That's why I wanted to pop on at the last second. Read these last comments here. I want y'all to have a wonderful Thanksgiving and enjoy your family. Look for that wonderful time to be able to spend together and be thankful for the blessings that you have in your life. And think about those who don't necessarily have those and see what you can give forward or what you can pay forward to somebody else because you've been blessed. With that said, we're going to call it a night. With that said, I love y'all. Appreciate all y'all coming through. Make sure you tell a friend about the show and come back again. We'll see you after. I don't know if I do a post-game review or not because I have a whole house full of people. But 2 claps, fade to black.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens.
ride up. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Writer Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.